In this video, you are going to learn exactly how to drop 0.5% to 1% of your body weight every single week for however you want to lose weight for. And in this video, it's going to be completely unscripted. I can literally show you my notes all on one paper. I'm going to go pick it up actually. This is everything I have. I like to do these videos unscripted, so if you find them boring, or if you don't enjoy them, or if you feel like I'm just waffling, then click off the video. But I could easily ChatGPT this whole script, but who wants that in their life? You get enough ChatGPT as it is. So I'm going to be just giving you pure knowledge based off the top of my skull. So we're going to drop that down there. And like I said, this is going to be everything you need to do to lose fat. And the reason I said 0.5% to 1% a week, because I could say you could lose a kilogram of fat per week. However, if you are heavier on the heavier end, you have the ability to lose more weight more quickly because you are able to reverse that a lot faster. Like, for example, if I was to lose a kg of fat every single week at 80 kilograms, it's a lot more difficult for me if somebody was double my weight, if somebody was 160 kilograms, because they've got a lot more fat to lose compared to me where I've got a little bit more muscle mass, not to brag, but that's what we're here for. So number one, the first thing you need to get straight away is your calories. Your calories have to be in some sort of deficit, or you have to be in some sort of caloric deficit to start losing that weight, if that makes sense. Because your weight will not go down by 0.5% to 1% a week if you are not actively burning more than you consume. Which that means you get a maintenance calorie, so every single person on the planet has some sort of maintenance calories, so the food they eat to maintain their current weight. And you need to be basically eating anywhere between 250 to 750 calories below that. And the easy way to calculate your maintenance is to go to a TDE calculator, which you can actually find out in the link in the description. If you put your email in to 50 ways in 50 days to lose fat, you will get sent an email on how to do exactly that on, I think, day 2 at 3. And that's literally just day 2 or 3. You can go into the 50 days. But that's not the point, is you can also times your weight in kilograms by, I think, 30. So for example, I'm 80 kilograms. If I times it by 30, I would be about 2,400 according to maintenance, which again, that's just to get a rough idea, because realistically that is different for everybody. Like, not every single person it's going to be correct for. So like I said, 250 to 750 is like the sweet spot. That's where most people are going to be able to lose that percentage to 0.5% a week without feeling like they are starving or wanting to basically go ravenous in the kitchen. Because anything more than that you can do, like in a mini cut, but it is reserved for the select few, because for me, I really struggle with a mini cut. I think hunger is a big thing for me, and dealing with hunger I'm not so great at. Coming from a coach, I know it's weird, but yeah, I would recommend anywhere between that. Of course, some weeks are going to be higher than that, some weeks are going to be lower, but it's just important to adjust weekly to see how big of the deficit is, because then you don't even need to track your calories. You just need to weigh on the scale every week, and if your number on the scale isn't going down, then you can start to eat slightly less and then balance out from there, which is great. But number 2, something that you always hear is protein. Simply, you need to be eating a pound per gram of body weight. Wait, let me rephrase that. A gram per pound of body weight that you weigh. So I weigh 180 pounds. That means I would need 180 grams of protein. You can get away with getting a little bit less than that, maybe for me 160, but that is like the sweet spot. Like I said again, that removes any doubt that you are not getting enough protein, and that's like the insurance policy. And that not only makes you be able to maintain your muscle and build muscle in that calorie deficit, I know they just fell over, but it also allows you to feel a lot more satiated than if you were just to eat fat and carbs. And that's important, because if you're not feeling satiated in a diet, that hunger is going to be 10 times more difficult. The thing is, when we say to eat whole foods as coaches and proteins, is that is not going to prevent you from feeling hungry. It's just going to limit the amount of times you feel hungry in a day. because realistically, when you're in a diet phase or when you're losing percentage of your body weight, sometimes it takes years to reverse that extra weight that you built. So you are going to, of course, feel hungry, but the idea is that you are in a deficit to get to where you want to be, not a deficit to maintain where you're going to be. So when you actually get to that desired weight, you can then bump up your calories and have very little negatives to that, if that makes sense. Number 3 is what I'm doing right now, standing up, your step count. Now, I'm not going to tell you to hit 10,000 steps every day like any other coach on the planet, but whatever you do, you need your steps to be consistent. Whatever target number you have, whether it's 2,000, 5,000, 8,000, 10,000, 15,000, you need to be hitting the number every single day. Because when you are in the deficit, when you are losing weight, the last thing you'll want to do is you're going to reduce your activity, because actively, you do not have the desired energy to go and burn more calories because your body is already burning calories by not eating enough. So when you're in the deficit, steps are going to feel a little bit more difficult to complete. They're going to feel like they're doing more. You feel like you're using more energy to get in steps. And the most important thing is to continuously do them. I don't think there's been a single day since the start of the year, and we are in middle of August when I'm recording this video. Don't know what's going to go up. You'll find out. But I've hit 10k steps pretty much every single day of this year, other than like 2-3 days, maybe when I was on holiday, and that's it. Out of what, like 180, 200 days, which is ridiculous. And I've not really been in a dieting phase at all, other than like right now, start of the year, kind of just chilling out. But yeah, consistent with the steps, because your body's going to basically fight you to not be consistent. Number 4, kind of touched on it already, is your weight. You might see in the background that I've got a scale there. My scale, when I hop on it, it instantly puts in all the data into an app. I don't have to manually type it in. Again, it's kind of a fancy scale, but it makes it easier for me. Like, I would rather spend loads of money on something that I'm going to use, so it manually enters it, and then I have all the data. So like I said, you need to be weighing yourself every single day, and then take the average of your last week by adding up all the 7 different weigh-ins, dividing by 7, and getting your average. Like, my average weight last week was 81.2. Again, there's going to be weights that are above that and below that, but then my average maybe the week before that might have been 82. So on average, I lost 0.8 of a kg or kilogram, which is more like 2 pounds-ish. So that also allows you to understand how much weight you're losing on average instead of just fluctuations. And I don't know why you wouldn't weigh yourself every day, because you are just losing out on data. Like, if you're doing it once a week, maybe if you did it every single Monday, maybe one Monday or like one Sunday you ate like a quite carb heavy meal, holding a lot more water. So maybe you did everything right that week, stayed in the deficit, but you ate loads of carbs on the Sunday before. All of a sudden your weight's going to be up. So that's why I would always take averages. It's super important. And I'm also going to go into another thing that's important, not just about the scale, later on as well. But that's the most important thing. Is there anything else I need to say? No, that's everything with the scale. Number 5 is cardio. Now this one's a little bit of a weird one, because to start to lose 0.5% to a percentage a week, you don't need to do any cardio. I just see that as a bonus. You could start off completely in the deficit of just lowering your food. And then you can add in cardio when lowering your food seems a little bit more upsetting. Then you can start to add in more activity to be able to eat more food. Which for me, I would avoid the treadmill and Stairmaster and whatever else in the gym at all costs. I hate those machines with a passion. I would much rather play football, squash, tennis, badminton, any sort of sport that I can do with somebody else to make it more enjoyable. I want it to be a social activity. Because when I go in the treadmill or Stairmaster, I'm putting my headphones in and locking in into like watching Netflix, doom scrolling on TikTok, whatever. Like, I am on my own. I'm solely focusing on what I'm doing. But if I'm doing something that's socially and I'm interacting with other people, the time flies by, and you do cardio and it doesn't feel like cardio, if that makes sense. So I'd recommend finding a sport or getting into a sport with someone you know, and that's going to make cardio 10 times easier, because you just feel like it's a social event, or you're going not just for yourself, you're going to meet up with others and you're having a fun time. And it replaces the pub for a lot of people as well. They start to do activities instead of drinking, which is great. Number 6 is training. Now, a lot of people think as soon as they try to start to lose half a percentage to a percentage a week, everything in their training just disappears. It all changes. They just change everything about their training. But realistically, you should be training in the exact same way that you were training to build muscle, which I would recommend anyone who's new to the gym, try your best to hit your muscle groups twice per week. Depending on how many sessions you can do, if you've only can do 2-3 a week, 2-3 sessions a week, like an hour sessions, do some full body workouts. So hit every single muscle group in one session, and then obviously rest the next day, and then do it again. Or if you can train a little bit more, maybe 4 to 5 sessions a week, then you can do like a push-pull split. So you can do chest and triceps on the Monday, back and biceps on the Tuesday, then legs and shoulders on the Wednesday. And then you could repeat that again, or you could freestyle it. But as long as you are hitting them twice per week, getting that good stimulus, that's all that really matters. And of course, progressive overloading and training close to failure. So making sure you're getting in those rep ranges. If you're hitting the higher end of the rep ranges, you can increase the weight. If you're hitting the lower ranges, then, I mean, you're still in the rep range, but you just need to push close to failure and hit that higher end. And if you're hitting below the rep range, then maybe you want to decrease the weight. Like, for example, 10 to 12. If you want to go below that, then, well, if you're below 10 reps, you want to decrease the weight, try getting between 10 to 12 reps, with the last rep being a struggle. And if you're hitting above 12 reps or 12 reps, then increase the weight because you graduated from that weight, if that makes sense. Easiest way I can explain it. But finally, number 7 is your progress photos. Like I mentioned with the scale, not everything about the scale is going to tell you the truth. You could be losing fat or losing half a percentage of your body fat a week. You could be losing fat and building muscle, but since you were eating high volume foods, the scale might not actually be going down. You might just be staying at the same weight because you are building muscle but losing fat. Like, kind of similar to a body recomp, especially if you're new to the gym. This will happen a lot, is that your weight will stay very stagnant. That's not saying that fat loss has stopped, your weight has stopped. So you could be doing everything right, and the scale might not be saying it, but the progress photos will definitely depict whether you are losing fat in the front, the arms, your back as well, taking photos of your back, and your legs if you want. But I mean, for some reason my legs have always been a lot leaner than my upper half, as you can see. Like, I'm not really that lean on the upper half yet, but I am getting there. We will I'll maybe one video will notice my face will just be completely lean and I'll look completely different. I look like a scary guy. But that's everything in today's video. If you guys enjoyed, then you can do all this good stuff. I don't even have to tell you. But like I said, if you want some more knowledge on how to lose fat, I will email you every single day for the next 50 days on how to lose fat with under a 60-second read every single time, with actionable steps, easily accessible information, easily digestible in the way that I've understood it and how I've managed to build my entire fitness space or fitness knowledge. So if you feel like I've had a lot of knowledge in the video, then you can learn the exact same things I've learned through everything I've learned over the past year or so in those emails. So if you want them, click it, type in your email. But other than that, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. And don't forget to take your creatine.